Hi, thank you for joining me for our hip practice today. We're going to release our hips and hopefully in the process of releasing our hips also release some emotional tension we're holding on in the lower half of our body. So our hips often are the areas that can get really tight when we are dealing with emotions that can sometimes put us in the fight or flight reaction. And so we have something, an experience happen, or we remember something related to the experience that we are dealing with, and our emotions rise, our anxiety rises, our body goes into fight or flight, and we tense up. And a lot of that tension gets held into your hip flexors, into your hip creases, into your psoas muscles. So today we're going to just try and move through a practice that will help you release some of that tension, allowing you to breathe more into those areas, and hopefully let some of those emotions come up. Some of these poses you may find yourself getting emotional in, and that's okay, it's normal. I've found that I cry the most in a yoga class in pigeon pose, which we're going to do today, that those hip releases can really let us let go of some emotions we've been holding on to. And for the journey that we're on of dealing with our grief, managing our emotions that come up with it, not just directly after the loss, but for weeks, months, years to come, it's really good to allow those emotions to come up sometimes, and maybe sometimes just even name them, acknowledge them, and breathe into them. They're not going to go away today, but we're going to learn some poses and practice together some ways to allow a little bit of release. And we can come back to them. You can do this practice again and again whenever you find yourself maybe feeling like you're stressed out and you're holding on to emotions, you're trying not to let them get the best of you, or maybe you start to feel tightness in this area and think, you know what, I need that emotional release today. So we're going to only need 2 blocks as your props. If you don't have blocks, you can use a couple pillows, one for under each knee. We're just going to use them at the end when we do Supta Baddha Konasana. We're going to lay down in final relaxation in a cobbler's pose. So we're going to start today just with a little prayer, a little intention. So close your eyes, sit up nice, and sitting up nice and tall, closing your eyes, floating your hands into prayer at heart center, into Anjali Mudra. Let's take 5 deep breaths together. We ask, may our practice be blessed. We ask, may it be an opportunity for us to let go of emotions and tension that are holding us back, preventing us from loving with all of our hearts, that are preventing us from being open to change. We ask, may the practice help us to fill our body with breath so we may release tightness and fear and replace it with love and light, so we may begin to let go of grief and anger and any emotions that we are holding on to that do not serve our hearts. Take one more deep breath in. Open up the mouth, exhale it out. Do that one more time. Inhale. Exhale, let it out. Beautiful. So let's begin sitting in Baddha Konasana, drawing the soles of your feet together, and they can be far away or super close. I'm going to move back so my ankles are on my mat. And we're going to do some spinal release here. So just like we would do cat-cow, only we're going to do it here. So hold on to your ankles or your knees. You're going to inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale all the air out. Inhale. Exhale, round the back. Pull the belly to the spine and belly towards one another. Drop the head. Inhale, arch, press the chest forward, open up, look up. Exhale, round, navel to spine, head drops. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Two more. Inhale, arch, open up, feel the body releasing through the chest and the lower back. Exhale, round, release the head down, upper back opens up. Inhale, arch, maybe feeling those hips just releasing a little bit. And exhale, round. Beautiful. Inhale, come to neutral spine. Draw the legs together, maybe straighten them out, give them a little shake. Come to your hands and knees. Move my blocks over to the other side. Make sure that your hands are spread nice and wide. Shoulders are right over the wrists. We're going to tuck our toes, lift up into downward facing dog. You can keep your knees bent for a moment here. Maybe pedaling out the feet, bending one knee and then the other. And then when you're ready, just finding down dog, take a deep breath in. Hips lift up nice and high off of the spine. Shoulders roll down the back. Inhale. And exhale it out. You're going to step your feet a little bit closer together. Inhale, sweep the right leg up to the ceiling for downward facing dog split. And then you're going to bend your knee and open that knee up towards the ceiling. Keep pressing into both hands. Big stretch across the right side of the body. Exhale, bring the knee back. Reach that leg back up into down dog split. And then look forward. Step your foot between your hands. Just taking a breath or two here in low lunge. Let those hips sink down. Head and neck are long. Gazing a few inches in front of your mat. Beautiful. 5 breaths, inhaling and exhaling. You'll start to feel that right hip starting to yawn open. One more deep breath in. As you exhale, drop the left knee down. You're going to come on up, take a moment here. Make sure those hips are square. Draw the right hip back. Let the left hip come forward and inhale. Sweep the arms up into a low crescent lunge. Inhale, exhale 2, inhale, exhale 3, inhale, exhale 4, inhale, exhale 5. You're going to bring your hands to the inside of your front foot and heel toe that right foot off to the right side of the mat a little, coming down into a lizard lunge. So you can stay here, hands on the floor. If you need to, hands on your blocks. If you'd like to deepen it, you can bring your forearms or elbows down to your blocks, or even your forearms or elbows down to the mat. And breathe here wherever you're at. Inhale, exhale 1, inhale, exhale 2, inhale, exhale 3, inhale, exhale 4, breathing, feeling that left hip open up as it drops towards the mat, feeling the back of that right hip opening up. One more big breath. And exhale it out. Inhale, walk back up to your hands. Walk that foot between the hands. Lift the back knee up. And exhale, sweep the leg all the way back up into downward facing dog split. Big inhale. And exhale, find down dog. Let's just take a breath or two here. That right leg might now feel a little longer than the left. Breathing, inhale. And exhale it out. Walk the feet a little closer together. Sweep that left leg up to the ceiling for down dog split. And then bend the knee, drawing the left heel towards the right hip. Open that knee up towards the ceiling. Keep pressing evenly into your hands. Come back to center, sweep that leg up, look forward, step the left foot between your hands. Just take a couple breaths here in low lunge. Nice runner's lunge here, feeling the hips on the left side start to open up. Gaze is a few inches in front of you, neck is long. Keep drawing the back of that right knee up to the ceiling. One more deep breath. Exhale, drop the right knee to the mat. And just come up for a moment here before we come into low crescent lunge. You're going to take your hands, draw that left hip back, pull the right hip forward, belly engages towards the spine. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, drop the hips a little lower and breathe. Inhale. Exhale, just breathing into those hips. Opening up the chest as the hips drop, maybe another inch. One more big breath in. Exhale, the hands to the inside of the foot. Heel toe the left foot towards the outer left edge of your mat. And again, wherever you are here, maybe on your hands, maybe you need the blocks under your hands, maybe the forearms and elbows can come to the blocks, or perhaps for full expression of the pose, you can come all the way down onto those forearms and just find your breath here. You're going to start to feel some of that tightness in the hips coming up, bubbling up to the surface. Breathe, use your breath to breathe into it. Breath here. Inhale, coming up to the hands, walking that foot to the center, tucking the back toes, sweep that left leg up to the ceiling for down dog split, and step the feet together. Beautiful. Let's just take a few breaths in down dog. Feel those hips starting to open up. Look forward. You're going to take your right knee and slide it towards your right hand. Your right foot's going to come towards your left hand. You're going to sit down for half pigeon. If you find that you're really having a hard time settling in here, you can take one of those blocks and place it underneath of your hips. If you're going to do that, I would suggest staying up here and not folding forward. Once you find your spot, take a deep breath, sit up tall, inhale, and then exhale. Just like a little wave, release the chest forward. You can come to your forearms. You can come to a block. If it's available to you, you can make a little pillow with your hands. And just breathe here. This is the place where we have to start to let go. This is the long hold pose where the tension's going to come up, the emotions might come up, and we're just going to use the breath to breathe into the sensations we experience. Don't allow yourself to go back into that fight or flight mode. Use the breath. Inhale, acknowledge the sensation in the hips. Exhale, let it out. Maybe even say to yourself, that is not me. It's not who I am. It's just a sensation in my body. Inhale, maybe an emotion comes up. Recognize it. It's fear. It's sadness. It's heartbreak. It's anger. Exhale it out, but it is not me. It is just a sensation, an emotion my body is experiencing. Let's take 3 more full deep breaths here. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Slowly come on up. You're going to take that back leg and you're going to draw it around and up and over so you come into ankle to knee pose. I'm going to turn and face you here. So ankle to knee pose or double pigeon. Ideally you have shin on top of shin. On this side you're going to have your right foot on top of your left foot on top of your right knee, left knee on top of your right foot. If your knee is way up high, you can place a block underneath of it. If you're using props under the knees, this is probably enough just to sit up nice and tall, pull the belly in, roll the shoulders down the back. You can drop the chin to the chest and breathe here. If you don't need any props today and your shins are laying one on top of each other, you're going to inhale, sit up nice and tall, and exhale, fold forward, walking your arms and your torso up over your shins, making sure that those feet are engaged. Flex those feet and breathe here. That was 5 breaths. Let's take 5 more. With every exhale, just releasing. I'm noticing I'm really holding my neck up here. I'm going to release it down, and I'm going to just keep breathing. I'm not going to talk, so just breathe with me for 5 more breaths. Beautiful. Just walk the hands up. Come up to sit. Just take your legs out in front. Maybe give them a little shake. Cross your ankles. And find your way back into downward facing dog. Again, the legs might feel a little uneven because we've only done half pigeon and double pigeon on one side. Deep breath in here and down dog. Exhale it out. Take that left knee to the left elbow, left foot towards the right hand, scooching maybe that right foot back behind you. If possible, make sure that back leg is nice and straight. Pointing those toes, pressing the 5 toenails into the mat. If for some reason that's not available for you today, it is okay to bend that back leg just a little bit to give you a little more ability to open in this front hip. You're going to inhale, sit up tall, maybe staying here if this is enough, or exhale, walking all the way forward onto the forearms, onto a block, head to the mat, and just breathing here. Just letting go, releasing by using your breath. Every inhale makes space, and every exhale releases some of the tension, the tightness, the emotions that come up. We just breathe into them. If we can just breathe. Some days that's all we can do is just breathe. Inhale, come on up to sit. Taking that back leg, swinging it around. Stacking that right shin on top of the left. And again, if you need to prop up here under the shin, feel free, under the knee. Make sure those feet are flexed. And if you're using props, just sitting up nice and tall today. If you're not using props and those hips are feeling nice and open, inhale and exhale, walking up and over. Beautiful, letting the head release, letting go of the tension in the neck. We're going to take 10 breaths here. Inhale, exhale 1, inhale, exhale 2, inhale, exhale 3, inhale, exhale 4, inhale, exhale 5, inhale, exhale 6, inhale, exhale 7, inhale, exhale 8, inhale, exhale 9, one more breath, and exhale, inhale, come on up. Find your way into downward facing dog. Just taking a few breaths here. Drop your knees to your mat. We're going to do one last pose before we come into our Supta Baddha Konasana final relaxation. One that's going to open up the hips and give us a little chest release. So you might want to have one of your blocks handy. You're going to come onto your hands and knees. You're going to slide your right knee in front of your left and just spread your feet a little bit so you can make some space to sit down. And then you can slide your block underneath of your hips and sit down on your block for Gomukhasana cow face. Or if you don't need the block, you can just sit down on the mat. You're going to inhale. Today we're going to take eagle arms while we do this. So instead of our normal Gomukhasana arms would be this one, but we're going to take eagle arms. So float those arms out to the side. You're going to take your left arm over your right, spin and press the palms together. If this isn't happening today, you can't press palms together, you can press backs of the hands together. You're going to inhale, reach those elbows up, and exhale, come forward. So we're opening up the hips and we're opening up the back of the chest, the upper back. And as much as you want to lift those hips up off of the mat to come forward, keep grounding that right hip down. Keep pulling the hands away from the face and breathe. Drop the shoulders down the back. 3 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. 1 more. And exhale it out. Come on. Unwind. Roll yourself forward. Unwind the legs. Draw the left knee up and over the right. Spread the feet so you can sit down either on the mat or on your block. Coming into Gomukhasana, cow-faced legs, and then eagle arms. So inhale, arms reach up. This time right arm comes up and over left, palms to palms or back of the hands. Inhale, reach those elbows up, open up the chest, the throat, and exhale, fold forward, trying to draw the elbows past the knees, but then keep moving the hands away from the face, shoulders drop down the back, and don't forget to keep dropping that left hip into the mat. Breathe, inhale, exhale, one, inhale, exhale, two, inhale, exhale, three, inhale, exhale, four, one more breath, and exhale it out, come up, unwind the arms, release the legs, take them out, shake them out, and we're going to come into our Supta Baddha Konasana, final relaxation. So you're going to take your blocks, you're going to place them underneath your knees, even if your hips are super open. Mine easily go to the mat, but this is going to allow them to just release and let go and not pull in the groin and the hips while we come into relaxation. Keeping your soles of your feet together, you're going to lay all the way down. Extend the arms alongside of the body, palms face up. And just let it go. The chest should feel nice and open in the upper back from that final Gomukhasana and eagle arms pose. You should feel nice, open, soft hips from all of our hip openers today. The belly can be soft, no tension in the abdomen. Let the eyes get soft as they release into the head, into the skull. Just let go. Surrender into the embrace of the earth beneath you. We share this practice together because it is a safe place for you to experience the moving of the sensations that your loss, your grief, your heartbreak, and your trauma may be storing in your body. Allow yourself to let it go, even if it's just for the time we lay here in this supported hip opening relaxation. Because every time we let it go for a few minutes in a safe, supported environment, it helps remind us, it helps teach us how to take those experiences, those sensations, that feeling with us of release, of letting it go, of not holding on to those emotions out into the world with us in our daily lives. Draw your knees together, extend your legs up, reach your arms up, stretch. And then roll off to your right side. Come on up to sit. I hope you feel refreshed and released and emotionally available after our practice today. Thank you so much for sharing this with me. Namaste.